Hi, I'm Cindy Abbott Letro for Behind the Camera. We are in Niagara Falls, beautiful Niagara Falls, I might add today. Over 9 million visitors a year come to this place to take a look at the incredible beauty that we have here. It makes it a place that tourists love, but it also makes a great movie location. And that is one of the things that both of our guests today are going to talk a little bit about, because it is so desirable. It is a tourist destination. But as I said, multiple movies have been shot in this vicinity. Angela Berti is with me. She's Director of Marketing for New York State Parks that administers the falls. And also joined by Andrea Czopp, who is Chief Operating Officer for Destination Niagara USA. It takes me a little bit to get used to that.
Mouthful.
It's been a while since you changed the name of it, but it is Destination
Niagara USA. That's
all right.
correct.
And
yes.
in the exact purpose for this organization is what? To market the falls?
Yes, our main responsibility is to market and promote not just Niagara Falls, New York, but also all of Niagara County. So we tell the story to the world of all the things that there are to do here, including seeing Niagara Falls, but also all of the other wonderful attractions and municipalities that we have in Niagara County, so that people will stay longer and spend more money.
And of course, that's one of the things that we hope in pushing the film industry and with Behind the Camera is the fact that people will come here, that jobs will be created, and that we'll actually spend some of that money in Niagara Falls.
Exactly. We welcome the movie industry, and the more it grows in Western New York, the more jobs that are created, the more people that can stay home after college or come back from working in Los Angeles or New York and come back and work here at home. And we do whatever we can here in Niagara County, Niagara Falls, to promote and to support.
Well, I was just going to say that you've seen a lot of different changes, because as long as I can remember, when we've been talking about or trying to get access to the falls, you're the person we talk to get the credentials. How have you seen things change?
I think, COVID obviously put the brakes on things a little bit, but, the park itself has changed, I think, from that standpoint. But, I think a lot of stuff, Buffalo's growing for sure, Niagara Falls is growing. There's different size movies. We get the big ones like we just had with Otto. We get the little things too that happen, and they just pop up and you don't even know they're in town until Tim calls and says, we got a film coming in. So, the size and scope of the productions are changing, I think, with technology.
Well, it's really sort of a 1-2 punch here when we talk about Tim Clark calling you to get access, but he also talks to you in the sense that we want to know what's here.
That's right.
And it's always sort of there are certain constants, like Niagara Falls, but there are changes in the economic outlook and the businesses that are here and just the offerings that you have.
Yeah, that's true. And also, there are certain movies when scouts come to town, they have certain needs. In addition to wanting to use the actual falls themselves, people are looking for different things. So, for instance, the most recent movie that was here, they needed a motel for a nostalgic scene, which is really exactly right up our alley, because we have all those relationships with all of the hospitality partners across Niagara County. So Tim calls us because we're really in touch with a lot of these different people, so that we can help lay that groundwork. And then additionally, for all the crew that comes to town that needs hotel rooms, we have relationships with all of the hotels, so we can really help in that regard as well.
Have you seen a change in sort of the demographic of the businesses, that you have more offerings now, and I know that things sort of shut down during COVID, but it looks like, at least as a parent, it seems like there's an awful lot of people out there now, and it seems as if the movie industry is really revving up.
Yeah, in the last several years, Niagara Falls has seen a lot of changes, especially in downtown, in the downtown corridor. A lot of new hotels have opened, and the other thing, in addition to them being new hotels, it's also we've also seen an elevation in the brands of the hotels that have come to town. To now have a hotel like a DoubleTree by Hilton and a Courtyard by Marriott, a Hyatt Place. Those are brands that had never really been here before in this community, which gives us the opportunity to promote and market to a whole new segment of population, not just with leisure visitors, but also convention visitors. And of course, in this situation, when film crews come in, they do want a higher level brand, and now we can offer that without having to necessarily send them outside of downtown Niagara Falls.
The project you were just talking about is A Man Called Otto, and it is a movie that Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks have put together, having their son in it.
they were here just for a short period of time. But that's important. I mean, I think a lot of people would say, well, like, we really want to be here for like 2 months, and we've had that as well. But those short ins and outs are important as well.
I mean, when the Falls is going to when that movie comes out and we see the Maid of the Mist in the Falls, we can't pay for that kind of marketing. You know, that is just priceless to us. And you know, I think not only that, but it's civic pride too. I think when residents of Niagara Falls see their waterfalls on camera, hopefully that helps elevate their love of living here. But for us, it's stuff we can't afford.
We also can't discount that the amount of money that contributes to the local economy. You know, that was over 100 people on that crew who needed lunch, who needed hotel rooms, who needed a tent. You know, those are all local businesses that they're reaching out to for that. You know, just prior to COVID, 2019, when we worked on our annual report with Kim and the Buffalo Niagara Film Commission, just Niagara County alone, the film industry was a $3.5 million estimated economic impact. It's significant. It's really significant. And you know, like Ange said, as far as the civic pride and also you can't buy that kind of promotion like Tammy or you know, a Tom Hanks movie. You know, everybody's
Or Nick Molenda.
The Office.
We would never be able to buy that kind of publicity.
And The Office is still running. We had a friend say, "Oh my God, I just saw the Niagara episode twice in like 24 hours," and people come to visit and they talk about it.
And they did the podcast. There was
That's
just a
right.
podcast about that episode where Pam, I'm blanking on her real name.
Angela. Oh, Pam and Angela. But yeah, Fish, yeah.
Well, you knew that
it
name.
lives on,
You
yeah.
knew it. That was very near
Yeah.
and dear to you. I was just thinking though, Ange, you mentioned at the very beginning that it might sort of, it's a rebranding in a way of what are the offerings for jobs in this city and in Buffalo. You know, that it's a different kind of job that appeals to sort of a different demographic.
I mean, it's a credit to Tim and to you and to all of the work of the Film Commission has done over the last 10 years to have sound studios popping up in Buffalo and beyond. And people are making a living at filmmaking. And all those people that think that the tax credit isn't worth having, they're wrong. It's huge. I think so much of what we get here in Western New York is due to that tax credit. So, you know, keep it coming.
Well, you talk to the business owners day in, day out, you know, that you're sort of representing them in the world. You probably have seen sort of something go from skepticism as to whether this was really worth it to, no, this is for real.
Yeah, I think, you know, especially the hotels and the restaurants in the city of Niagara Falls have absolutely felt the advantages of having film crews here and having film productions here. Again, you know, all those room nights, you know, you're talking 100 rooms. That's significant in a time of year that we're not otherwise sold out. You know, this particular movie that was just here, Otto, that was in a time in April where right now that's sort of in between the time when we really start to you know, bust at the seams from that Memorial Day to Labor Day really high period. So that's a really important piece for these businesses.
When you plan out for like the next year or 2 years or whatever, I mean, are you now sort of including things that take into effect that you've got this burgeoning film business that's going on right now?
Well, we actually dedicate a portion of our funding, of our organization's funding, to the Buffalo Niagara Film Commission because we do believe in it that much, and we do believe in the significant importance of it, not just to the film industry itself, but to that national and international exposure that it gets for us. So we always plan for that. Obviously, during COVID, times were tough, so we had to cut back a little bit. But now, you know, we're hoping to go full steam ahead and continue to support it, you know, long into the future.
Well, and for so long, Niagara Falls has really been the driving force for funding for New York State parks. Now there's even more to that. You know, it's not just this natural wonder that people come and passively look at. It's a place that can generate income.
That's right, for film. And, you know, Governor Hochul's been so supportive of it. She sees the benefit to Buffalo, obviously, as a resident. Our commissioner, Eric Kuhl, said, you know, let's just make it happen. Our staff here is incredible. They bend over backwards to make it easy for film crews to come. And not just here at Niagara Falls. Knox Farm is constantly getting film requests, and we've had other parks double for other places. So it's it's exciting. I know, I think we always get excited when the potential for a film comes to town and what will it bring with it.
And have you found that they're looking at different places for locations as well as the falls?
Yeah, I mean, there was a movie just, I think, in the last couple of years that was filmed out in Niagara County, out in Wilson and Olcott area. So it's not always necessarily just the falls, but it's Niagara County in general, which is great. And that's something that, you know, in the 7 years that I had been at the organization, I hadn't seen prior. It was usually just the falls. And now that they're spreading their wings, you know, it's really good. Again, a motel on Niagara Falls Boulevard, that's amazing to get exposure for that place. It's a wonderful little place. And now, you know, to have it on the big screen is really exciting.
It'll be exciting, and as I understand, this movie is going to be coming out, I think, at Christmas time.
Christmas Day release. I mean,
Christmas Day release.
Oscar
so how
stuff
can you
right
ask
there.
for
Yeah.
more?
That's right.
Well, it has been wonderful to talk to you. I know that it's not an easy job because many times you get these requests like the day before that you have to arrange special things, but it's important in the end. It's worth it. So thank you both for what you do for the film industry and what you do day to day. That's great. Well, that does it for this edition of Behind the Camera. We hope you'll join us next month.